to the Civilized Woman channel, where elevation, growth, and life experience meets pop culture. We are mastering the art of learning from the choices of others. On this channel, you can expect thought-provoking reactions to your favorite shows, viral news, and anything else I find beneficial. I pray that my content will inspire you to expand your thinking and seek to live your best life. If the idea of elevating and growing appeals to you, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. The views and opinions expressed on this channel falls under the Fair Use Copyright Act of 1976. It's for entertainment, criticism, and commentary purposes only. It's all alleged. So by now, y'all have heard that Jeezy has been trying to seek primary/full custody of the daughter that he shares with Jeannie Mai. Now, I've been trying to get this video recorded and up for days now, and before I could even start, there was another update, so I'll include all of that in this recording today. Rapper Jeezy, government name John Wayne Jenkins, and his estranged wife, entertainment and former TV show co-host Jeannie Mai, have been in a legal battle concerning their impending divorce since the rapper filed in September of 2023, stating that the marriage is irretrievably broken with no hope of reconciliation. The two have been going back and forth and making allegations towards each other. Mai is citing infidelity as she's seeking to have their prenup voided, tossed out, and I guess renegotiated. So they signed a prenup, which makes sense for people who are in the entertainment business, especially for Jeezy. He, I think, probably has the higher net worth. So it makes sense to sign a prenup. Well, when you do prenups, of course, there are different clauses in there that should be beneficial to both parties. So Jeannie is trying to get that tossed out so they can start from scratch. My assumption would be that she's probably trying to get more than what the prenup allotted to her. Nevertheless, then Jeezy comes back and he says that she's hindering him from being able to have access to the minor child that they share together, their little girl. So this divorce has gotten even more so contentious because it was published by sites like New York Daily News, U.S. Weekly, Page 6, Amends, The Source, the LA Times, that on Thursday, April 11th, Jeezy was seeking primary/full custody of the minor child. And then according to thesource.com, the rapper is saying that Mai is not present in the child's life due to her busy schedule. The legal documents that was filed in Fulton County, that's in Atlanta, Georgia, Jeezy is alleging that Jeannie has given the role of caretaker of their 2-year-old Monaco to her brother and her mother. So he is citing that Jeannie's excessive travel schedule isn't good for their child, and it adds that she's withholding his basically parental alienation, that she hasn't allowed him access to the minor child as they agreed upon prior into going to the divorce. They themselves had come up with an agreement on how they were going to share custody of the little girl, and that wasn't even court mandated. They had just agreed upon it. And so now he's saying that she's not holding up to that bargain. She was supposed to stay in the house, and so that way he would be able to see the child just as equally as she has access to the child. But he's saying that that's not the case. So what he's requesting is that he's asking for the judge to dissolve the current custody arrangement that they have, and that they agreed upon during mediation. And now he's asking for custody full time of this child. There has not been any word yet. There isn't anything showing, as far as I know, that Jeannie has responded to Jeezy's filing for primary / full custody of the child. So after this, I kind of got curious. I'm like, okay, so he's asking for full custody of a 2-year-old child, and he's citing that Jeannie is her busy schedule. So I'm trying to think, I'm like, okay, so I wanted to know, I know he has other children. I wanted to know if he's ever had custody of any of his other children outside of this one that he's asking for. So according to HollywoodLife.com, an article I found on there, Jeezy has 4 children, 2 sons, 2 daughters. And one of the daughters includes the daughter that he shares with Jeannie. And per that article, the filing against Jeezy was not his first, against Jeannie, was not his first time seeking custody of a minor child. So he actually had prior to Jeannie Mai, he had a fiance. They call her Mahi. Her name is much longer than that, but people just call her Mahi for short. He sought custody of the daughter that he had with that ex-fiance. Now, they broke up in 2019, and they have been on bad terms ever since then, according to this article. The site describes the battle as, quote unquote, a gnarly breakdown and custody battle, which was reportedly settled with the rapper paying $7,500 a month in child support plus $30,000 for tuition for that little girl. So Jeezy is saying that Jeannie is too busy, which is very interesting to me because they're both in the entertainment industry. So I'm trying to figure out how, if Jeannie is too busy to have the child full time, how is he, as a father who is also an entertainer, that means he's studio, tour, performances, all of these things. How is he then able to have the child full time without relying on babysitters or family members or staff to help him with the child? So I'm kind of like, well, is this request for a full custody a ploy to get her to back off of seeking to have the prenup voided? Does he just want to put pressure on her so it can just be like, okay, I'm going to forget about getting the prenup voided. I'm going to stick by what we signed, what we agreed to originally, as long as you don't bring this case up about wanting primary or full custody of this child. So to me, though, this pairing has always been odd to me. Visually, they look good. They look good, right? When we see them on the internet, whatever things that's posted or in a magazine, they look good together. But this has always been very, very odd pairing to me, because when Jeannie, at the time she was on The Real, when The Real was still on television, she had famously quoted, quote, this is what she said: "White meat keeps me lean and mean, but I like dark meat on the side." And this was in reference to her preference for men. Everybody, her co-host was shocked. The audience was shocked. The public, she got backlash for making that statement. I remember Tamar asking her, "Well, what do you mean when you say, what are you trying to say?" And it was just a really, really odd thing. So a person, everybody has a right to change their mind, but Jeannie also was staunchly against having children. She had always said she never wanted to have a child. At the time, she was married to her first husband, Freddie Hartis, who's Caucasian, and that reportedly was a major point of contention between her and him. And that was a major factor into their divorce, according to reports. He, of course, now has a fiance and has two children with that fiance. It was reported that part of Jeannie's divorce settlement with Freddie is there was an undisclosed monetary amount that she had to pay him. So although Hartis did well for himself, Jeannie definitely made a financial upgrade by marrying Jeezy. So then, was this an opportunity come up for her? Was this an opportunity to kind of recoup what she kind of gave up to her ex-husband. I mean, everybody, unfortunately, stereotypically, like, anyway, I'm not gonna go there. I'll just carry on with the commentary as I have it. And so, what were these two people gaining by being together? Was it a money grab for her? Was it an opportunity for Jeezy to access spaces in the entertainment industry that his raw persona could not get him into? Or was it this desire to have a quote unquote submissive woman? Now, Jeannie, prior to this relationship with Jeezy, was not one of those women that I would recall talking a lot about this whole submission thing. Once she got with Jeezy, though, that kind of became like a big thing for her, was talking about, being a submissive woman. So both of these people, these relationships kind of seem like a departure a little bit from what their public reports of prior partners that they have had. So the romance to them, between the two of them, moved really, really quickly. In my opinion, they didn't have enough time to get to know each other, to see where they aligned. If this marriage was going to last, they needed to make sure that they were aligned when it comes to how to raise that child, what their belief systems were, where their philosophy was. There were early reports before Jeezy filed for divorce that he was having issues with the way, like, Jeannie's like philosophy when it came to raising their daughter. See, these are things you need to kind of figure out before you go into a commitment like a marriage, if you really wanted to last, before you even ended up going down the aisle. These are things that possibly they would have talked about and may have decided it probably is not a good idea for us to move forward in this marriage. So it's just kind of like, why did y'all even get together in the first place? So regardless of the reason that they got together, hopefully they can get it together and be cohesive when it comes to that child, because she needs both of her parents, and she don't need to be used as a pawn between two people that are trying to get leverage over each other. So there is where my original commentary stopped, and that was what I was going to upload. And then before I could even start doing that, it was reported on April 17th by multiple outlets, including BET.com, Page 6, TMZ, that Jeezy is backtracking on his custody request. ETOnline.com reports that quote, the legal divorce battle between Jeezy and Jeannie Mai is getting more complicated as the rapper filed new court documents to clarify his request regarding custody of the couple's 2-year-old daughter, Monaco. In court documents filed April 16th in Fulton County, Georgia, according to ET Online Thursday, April 18th, Jeezy, real name J. Wayne Jenkins, is seeking to share joint custody and joint physical custody of the minor child, and that the specific parenting time schedule be determined by the court consistent with the best interest of the minor child. He claims that he and Jeannie had arranged an informal custody agreement last year, which I told y'all about earlier in this video, but that broke down in the beginning of this year, 2024. So the motion alleges that Jeezy really has not had any significant parenting with the minor child all year, and that Jeannie has prevented FaceTime calls by blocking his number. Now, that's crazy. You all decided to get into this marriage, and this child came from this marriage. So if you no longer want to continue this marriage, which, by the way, Jeezy seems to have like this history of breaking up relationships in a really odd way, where the partners don't seem to be aware that there's an issue or this is even coming. So this seems to be a pattern of his. Nevertheless, you two are together. You have decided to have this child. Y'all need to figure out how to work it out and be cohesive, regardless of your hurt feelings. You need to figure out how to work this out so this child has both her parents in her life. And everybody has equal access to her, and no matter whose home she is in, there's a safe and loving environment for her to be in. So this is just crazy, because so again, this channel is called the Civilized Woman channel, where we're mastering the art of learning from the choices of others. So mastering that art of learning from the choices of others. As a woman, if I'm looking at Jeezy's history, I'm not sure I'm running into this relationship, much less than engagement, much less like child and marriage, or vice versa, however that happened, because his history doesn't lend itself to saying that this is somebody who wants to be serious and will stick it out in the long haul. There's just something, to me, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion. My opinion, this is all alleged, is my opinion. It is for entertainment purposes only. In my opinion, I think if Jeannie really wanted to be in this marriage for a long haul, there's a lot of signs that she missed, that it almost feels like a lot of women, for some reason, will look at how messed up a guy would treat other women and think for some reason that they're going to get a better version of what he has demonstrated in his history. And it's just the syndrome of somebody being like the sixth baby mama. There were 5 other women before you that demonstrated that this man was not necessarily in it to create a holistic home, but more so, he has a pattern of creating broken homes. Why would you think that you would be any different? So there's just a lot of things here that I think both parties miss. It's very, very hard. Although they look good on paper, it's really, really hard to see that this was going to go the long haul. So I don't think a lot of us are surprised by the divorce, but so hopefully they do, again, work it out for this child. The bottom line is, we need to see people as they are and not what we wish them to be, and move accordingly. Until next time, y'all, please like, comment. Let me know in the comments your takeaway from this video and all that's going on with Jeannie and Jeezy. Share and subscribe. Bye for now.